Hi there, welcome to Real Estate Talk with Brady Group Real Estate. Today we're going to cover 4 reasons that you may want to consider buying now as opposed to waiting. And the number one reason is stability. Just like everything else, the cost of eggs, whatever else in the market, rental rates are on the rise. So rather than risking your landlord coming to your door at the end of your lease and saying your rent just went up, the way that you can safeguard that budget expense is to buy a home and use a fixed rate mortgage. That's going to lock in that number for you until you either pay it off or until you decide to refinance for whatever reason. The second reason I'm going to talk about that you may want to consider buying now as opposed to later is the reprieve and competition. It's been absolutely crazy for the last several years. Lots of multiple offer situations, sometimes 20, 40 offers on the table. Offer deadlines within hours. Buyers have to make super quick decisions. As a first-time home buyer especially, that can be super stressful and very intimidating. We're still seeing some multiple offer situations and there's definitely still some competition out there. We have seen that lessen just a little bit. So that helps relieve some of that stress that buyers were feeling and having to make rush decisions and going way over asking price and some of those crazy situations that they were being put in. So what that does for you is it kind of brings that stress level down a little bit. It may even give you some openings as far as negotiating terms of the contract that are more in your favor. So that definitely helps your cause moving forward in buying in this market as opposed to what we've seen and what we may see in the future. The third thing I'm going to talk to you about is a lot of people are a little hesitant. They've kind of put the brakes on a little bit because they're seeing interest rates go up and then down and then back up again, and they're not really sure what's happening or if that really affects their house payment. There are a lot of options out there. You can potentially buy down your interest rate, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about that. I'm going to let you rely on your lending professional for that. And some lenders are even offering to refinance at a later date if interest rates come back down and waive some of those fees that they would normally charge for a refinance. Make sure again that you're relying on your lending professional and asking questions because you do have options. The number 4 reason that you may want to consider buying now as opposed to later is that mortgages actually may become more difficult to get. Whether we're in a recession now or heading for one, that's all up for debate. But what we do know for sure is that when recessions hit, mortgage lending requirements tend to tighten up. So the criteria that they use to qualify you, that income ratios, your credit score, income, all of those things, the signs of recession tend to make those lending requirements tighten up a little bit and may actually make it more difficult for you to borrow later. So what you qualify for today, you may not qualify for in the future. To sum things up, there's a couple of things I want to leave you with real quick. Number 1, there's a lot of misinformation that circulates around out there, especially on social media. And something that I see and hear way more often than I should is somebody giving someone they know or someone they think they know advice that goes something along the lines of, oh, you should wait until the market crashes before you buy a home. That is terrible advice, and there's a lot of reasons that that's terrible advice. Statistically, buying a home is the safest and soundest investment that you can make. A lot of times buying a home leads to opportunities in the future. As your home value increases and you're paying down the balance of that mortgage, that equity in between is growing, and there's a lot of things that you can do with that to benefit yourself in the future. Very few people are actually experts in real estate, so just make sure you're relying on the professionals. Those are the people that are out there in the trenches. They know what interest rates are, what loan programs are available, what's happening in the market, how much competition or lack thereof there is. Just make sure you're relying on the professionals to give you information that's based on your situation that you know you can rely on. You can always visit us at BradyGroupRealEstate.com, chat with us there, call us, email us, whatever's easier for you. We're happy to answer any questions that you have. And if you have questions about lending, we can get you to a trusted professional that can answer those questions for you also. We hope this has been helpful, that we've answered some questions, maybe given you some insight and some takeaways, and we hope that we'll see you again next time on Real Estate Talk with Brady Group Real Estate.